Hey guys, I'm gonna call this one Worried Wednesday. Um, you could tell from the title, it's kind of scary right now out there, you know. Four of my family members right now have COVID-19 and they're in Pennsylvania, so there's been no exposure to myself or my husband, but it's really scary out there right now, you know, and it's so weird to me that people are still not taking, it seriously. Over the holidays, people still got together, and so we're going to see a surge of cases. I have family who even did that, and I did my best to kind of petition them not to do that, and I pray that they all remain safe. So far, so good. But, I also have a friend who, her daughter and her daughter came down with it over the holiday, and, now worried that she has it and some of her other family. So there's a lot of praying going on right now, and it still blows my mind when I hear, like the governor of Florida fighting the mayors, of each city in mandating mask wearing. It's like, it's in the words of my sister, no matter what you tell people, you can't stop stupid. I mean, it's just, if people are going to be dumb, or are dumb, um, there's not a whole lot you can do. And I really think that a lot of people are not, the people that are stuck on this whole not wearing masks thing, it's because the reason why they're not doing it, how it's been politicized and stuff, and they're following a leader who doesn't care about them. Um, it's it's a belief system, and you can't fight a belief system or rationalize, with someone who believes in something. And I learned that a long time ago through religion. Like, you could have a conversation with a religious person who's very steadfast on what they believe in, and you may have, say, like theological, archaeology facts, and it doesn't matter, because if someone has a belief system, they don't care about the facts. They only care about what they believe. And so I think, like, the mask thing too is because they made it political. People are holding steadfast to their belief, in another person, and what they said, what he said, because I think we all know who we're talking about here. And just that belief that they're going to cling on to, it's crazy. And I just heard that one in every, I think it was 42 people in Colorado have COVID. Um, and I wish that they would start saying that state by state, so that people understood how close it is to each individual, instead of it being this distant thing that you hear in the news. And I think we're now getting to the point where we all know somebody who has it or has had it. Um, and until this second round, it hadn't really touched my family or my friends at all. But now, I've got a friend, whose daughter has it, and we're praying that she doesn't get it. And it's kind of crazy, So some of the things that you deal with, you guys, it's not, this is like serious stuff, and you can see the problems that you hear on the news, where, my sister and her husband had it, and my parents were exposed. And it was like my sister went down, and then her husband went down, and within 48 hours my mom went down, and then 72 hours my dad went down. All four of them have been put into the hospital. Um, my sister is home and extremely weak and can barely get out of bed. And this is after a week of, more than a week of having it. And she, this is just no joke. It's like people can't get out of bed. You worry about things like if they are home, there's no one there to care for them, and they're so weak they can't even think about getting out of bed, or they struggle to just get up to go to the bathroom. You worry that they're not even getting water intake, and there's nothing you can do. You can't go in. You can drop it off to the door and then just pray that they are able to get up to get it. They're not eating because they can't stand to even make anything for themselves. So if someone is home alone or with another person that's just as ill as they are, it's very scary to have family in this situation, and then when you're dealing with elders, at one point, my mom went home and then she had to go back to the hospital, and or she was at home and then had to go in, actually, because my dad had to go into the hospital first. He stayed and was admitted, and she tried to rough it out at home, and then you're worried about her, like who's going to care for her? There's no one that could go in because she's infected. So it's a really tough thing. It's not a joke. I wish people would take it serious and do as much as you can, even if there's not stay-at-home orders, to stay at home as much as you can. Like, don't go out there and be putting yourself in danger and then potentially other people in danger as much as possible. My mom now has what they call COVID lung. And so it's not pneumonia, and they're treating it like bronchitis. But then the medications that they give can really rip up someone's gut. So then you're dealing with all these other things. You're dealing with inflammation that they have to watch. When someone's on the cocktail, which is the steroids and all the stuff that Trump got, which thankfully my dad has gotten, but they don't give that to everybody. There's like certain criteria that you have to fit in to get that cocktail, which gets you better faster. Not everyone gets that just because they have COVID and they're in the hospital. So that's another thing for people to understand. It's just a really scary thing. There's a lot of crying because they're sick for so long with fever that doesn't go away. And people who are at home having, thankfully being able to text when these family members are, have enough energy to text you back. It's sad, because there's nothing you can do. So I just want people to take it serious. You think about your mortality, your parents' mortality, and you don't want your parents to, go that way. And I feel good that my parents are well enough. I think and I pray that they're well enough, that they're going to be able to come home. But COVID is diabolical and you don't know, and so you fear that, what's going to happen. And you don't want any of your family member to go this way, to not have family around. And so, it's not only terrifying for the people that are going through it, it's also traumatic for the family members. I'm sorry. For the family members who are on the other end, who can't do anything to help other than just talking to them, and texting. It's a really stressful time, and obviously, it's a weird time because you're in that veil. The veil is between two worlds is so close, and when you start thinking about people's mortality, it's hard to find any motivation, you know, to keep doing this stuff in your own life. But you have to, you know, you just got to keep going. And so it's just, it's hard. It's hard, you know, and no one suffers more than they do, you know. And so maybe this is kind of a public service announcement too, for people to really take seriously, like, don't get together with family members outside your household for Christmas. Don't do it, you know. Like, my friend, her family members had a negative test before they got together, and one of them turned, you know, positive, you know, days later. It's just not worth the risk, you know. And to have any of your family members get sick, young or old, and then to have them hospitalized or in a home where you can't help care for them. Everyone suffers, you know, with this stuff. So please just take it serious. Don't get together for Christmas. If you did it, you know, stay in your circle and your household and don't go outside of that, and just be careful. Think about other people. Stay in as much as you can, you know, right now, and try and help. Be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And if you're out there and you're having to work in the world, you know, wash your hands, bring sanitizer. You know, if your company is not taking it as serious as they can, you know, bring your own wipes, do your own thing, and keep yourself safe. You know, wear a visor on top of a mask. You know, do whatever you have to do to keep yourself safe, you know. So just be careful out there. And I just wanted to, you know, I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on in my family, in the hopes that other people will listen to this and take it serious. So anyway, I just, be safe out there. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.